Please mind the gap between Indonesia and the UK. Mind the Gap is a student podcast hosted by students to bring you mindful day-to-day conversation from Indonesian students in the UK. My name is Beth, postgraduate student at Imperial College London.
And my name is Angel, postgraduate student at University College London. And our writer, Tamara.
From culture shock to the best value for money grocery stores, we aim to bridge the 12,000 kilometer gap between Indonesia and the UK to help Indonesian students adjust and stay healthy, physically, mentally, and financially. Please mind the gap between Indonesia and the UK. Hello everyone, welcome back to the 6th episode of Mind the Gap. Today we're going to talk about something that's even harder to do than passing your exam. It's relationships.
Yay!
Jadi hari ini aku, Tamara sama Angel bakal ngobrolin, relationship in general and our relationship. I think it's going to get even juicier. So stay tuned. Well, I guess we can start with the fact that all three of us are in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you guys been with your partner?
Aku sih, I've only formally been with my boyfriend for a little over a year. So it's one of those lockdown relationships, but I've known him since my first year in uni.
And you're in your third year, right?
I'm in third year, yeah.
So you've known each other for about 2 years before you're official?
Yeah, more like a year and a half a bit, but yeah, he's the guy we interviewed last week for our podcast.
Jadinya nepotism ya, bawa pacar sendiri.
What about you guys?
Well, kalau aku hampir 10 tahun. Belum nyampe 10 tahun, tapi almost 10 years. This year will be 10 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
Ya, nggak berasa sih sebenarnya. Tiba-tiba udah 10 tahun aja. Beth?
I've known him for about 3 years, and we've been friends for about 1.5 years before anything romantic started. And it's not like we're in relationship officially. I think it's more proper to call it a situationship that has gone more serious than it's supposed to be. So we're in a place where if we have to marry someone at the end of the day, we like to marry each other.
Cute. Belum in a relationship after.
Ya gitu. Soalnya at first he insisted that he doesn't do long distance relationship, but then what ended up happen was we keep in contact for like every single day, and no one's really actively seeking anyone else. Like we're not seeing anybody else. So yeah.
Well, how did you guys meet?
Honestly, aku sama dia ketemu dari dating app.
Oh wow.
Jadi back in 2018, early 2018, I was supposed to go to Karolinska kan. I was supposed to go to Sweden, but then I failed the scholarship, and then I decided that if I didn't get the scholarship, then I just wait another year and then apply again gitu. Tapi there was like a bit of resentment yang membuat aku kayak ya udah kalau aku nggak dikasih sekolah di luar negeri tahun ini aku bakal main aja gitu. Terus kayak I'm going to meet guys, I'm going to date around kayak gitu loh. And then I set up this dating app, and then I think he's the first one yang kita ngobrol dan kayak nyambung, tapi that's not like pada saat pertama tuh kita bahkan nggak benar-benar nggak apa ya, maksudnya nggak yang kayak I think this is a dating vibe gitu loh. More of like we attracted to each other, but I think kalau dari aku personally yang terus kemudian aku find out ternyata dia juga merasa seperti itu adalah kita merasa we attracted to each other, but then I feel something different with this person and I don't want to ruin it. Let's just see where it goes gitu loh. Jadi we end up being friends for about a year and a half. And then after that we work together and then we start seeing each other quite a lot more than we used to. Terus jadinya kayak ya udah berhubungannya
Jadi
dari
friends with
situ.
benefits.
Yeah. Oh my god, ya awalnya dari situ. And then terus dia cantol.
Tapi awet juga loh, maksudnya kayak dari dating apps terus bisa jadi gitu loh maksudnya.
Aku juga ketemu ada temen yang dia dari dating apps dan dia sudah menikah dan dia punya anak twin sekarang.
Wow.
Yeah. Jadi not all dating app is bullshit gitu loh.
Yes.
Terus ini dating apa?
Oke Cupid. Cupid. No, it's not Tinder. Jadi ya.
Angel, what about you?
Dulu kita satu SMA, jadi ya biasa lah ya, cinlok cerita sekolah. Kita satu sekolah, satu kelas, terus kita satu ekskul. Jadi ekskul kita tuh sama-sama paduan suara gitu. Jadi kayak ya cinta karena terbiasa, sering bertemu. Terus kita kayak dulu kan kalau di sekolah, di kelas tuh kan ada absennya kan. Nah namaku A, nama dia juga A. Jadi kayak kita absennya barengan gitu, bukan barengan sih. Jadi aku nomor 2, dia nomor 3. Jadi kayak kalau pelajaran TIK kita sebelahan gitu loh. Jadi ya kita dekat dalam jarak, dekat dalam absen. Jadi tiba-tiba tumbuh benih-benih cinta. Gitu lah ceritanya.
Wait, ini
jadi gimana
SMP
kita bisa meet?
Kemarin tadi
SMA ya. SMA aku SMA. Aduh, kalau SMP udah 15 tahun kali berarti. Ya gitu sih ceritanya. Maksudnya kayak setelah habis itu guru-guru tahu kan, akhirnya kita dipisahkan tapi kayak tetap satu ekskul. Kalau istirahat bareng ya udah gitu sih. Terus kita juga satu kuliah juga, kuliahnya univnya juga sama gitu-gitu sih.
That's really cute.
Kamu gimana Tamara?
Aku sih baru ketemu like during poker night, tapi at the time I was still in a relationship with another person. Tapi terus in my second year, pas freshers fair gitu, kita kayak we have mutual friends, so like over freshers fair, then he came over a lot, and then we were just hanging out, and then we got close. Terus ya lah gitu, and then he was like shooting his shot, and then I was flirting too. Akhirnya ya gini lah.
Bersambut ya. Tapi ya aku juga gitu sih, maksudnya aku ketemu sama dia, we stay friends, and then I was with someone else, and then once I'm done with that guy, terus baru kayak kita have something gitu loh. Jadi kayak sempet ngelewatin orang lain dulu gitu loh. Have you guys ever fought? Sering berantem nggak? Karena tinggal bareng tuh, maksudnya kayak sekarang kan setelah lockdown jadi sering ketemu gitu kan.
So like what happened kan kita kayak officially sih get together February 26. Jadi terus UK lockdown last year, I think around mid-March, and so we had no choice but to either live together or not see each other at all. So we chose living together. So kayak 1 year later, and I'm still living with him because it's still lockdown. But it's a stupid thing sih, karena kayak I wake up and then I see his face, I go to sleep and I see his face, so kayak sampai butak rasanya gitu loh. So I think in terms of fighting, it's usually over like silly things, kayak misalnya he I don't like the way he cooks, or he doesn't like the way I clean, or something like that, But kayak I think like our relationship has been forced to grow significantly faster than it would have been if we weren't in lockdown. Jadi, so I think we had to learn a lot about each other, and that has led to a few fights as well, which isn't great, but we're still together now. So what about you guys?
Aku kayak jarang banget deh berantem. Soalnya
Oh
iya, saya
iya.
kadang kita berdua tuh selalu ngomong kayak, "Yuk kita berantem yuk," gitu. Terus yang
Oh my god.
I wish we fight a bit gitu loh. Soalnya I'm not really confrontational dan kayak aku toleransinya tinggi banget kan. Jadi kayak kalau berantem juga dan dia juga bukan orang yang agresif, maksudnya kayak berapi-api gitu loh. Jadi kalaupun jadi it's more of an argument gitu loh dan jadinya kayak diskusi nggak kayak berantem. Sering banget kita ngomong kayak kita berantem yuk gitu.
Ya, aku sih moody banget, jadi so I could never have like a really nice,
Ah,
calm fight. What about you, Angel? After 10 years, what do you guys fight about?
Hah, udah semua bahasan udah diberantemin sih sebenarnya. Jadi kayak ya aku juga ini sih tipenya mungkin kayak Tamara kali ya. Aku juga moody terus kayak suka marah-marah gitu-gitu. Tapi dia tipikal yang kayak sabar gitu kan. Jadi kayak kalau misalnya aku marah-marah dia lebih ke yang calming gitu loh. Jadi jatuhnya kalau berantem yang heboh gitu, yang saling adu argumen tuh mungkin jarang. Lebih ke arah aku yang marah-marah gitu kali ya. Karena karena dia orangnya sabar gitu kayak ya udahlah gitu loh. Jadi take it easy gitu-gitu. Tapi kalau misalnya kayak berantem yang serius, yang berantem bener-bener kayak kita saling-saling shouting atau adu argumen gitu tuh nggak terlalu sering. Lebih ke arah seringnya adalah aku yang marah-marah, terus dia oke, gitu sih. Jadi kalau bisa dibilang tuh kayak 50-50 lah. Maksudnya kayak dalam relationship kita berarti 5 tahun ya berantemnya gitu ya.
tapi dia tahu cara ngekalemin kamu ya.
Iya. Ya kayak udah 10 tahun gitu harus tahu nggak sih?
Iya, soalnya kalau ada cewek yang dia marah, terus cowoknya kayak iya oke, terus dia malah jadi tambah marah gitu loh.
Iya sih.
Nah, kalau misalnya kadang-kadang misalnya aku kayak irrationally lagi PMS-ing gitu ya, aku marah-marah nggak jelas gitu, dia terus nggak ikut emosional gitu loh. And I'm like, why aren't you getting more angry? Like,
Tapi kalau kayak gitu aku biasanya marah-marah sih. Kalau kayak, ya kan kamu tahu aku lagi PMS gitu-gitu pasti.
Ya,
Makin marah.
sometimes we just want the world to burn aja nggak sih?
Iya, benar.
Kalau kamu pernah marah-marah tentang kayak jealousy atau apa gitu nggak? Atau bertengkar tentang jealousy?
Aku tipe orang yang nggak terlalu jealous gitu sih. Lebih karena dia yang lebih banyak jealousnya. Jadi kayak kalau aku sih lebih ke kayak nyindir-nyindir gitu kali ya, bukan yang kayak marah-marah untuk jealous gitu kan. Ih kok kamu deket sama ini gitu-gitu. Tapi sebenarnya aku nggak yang kamu nggak boleh deket sama ini ya gitu-gini, bukan kayak gitu sih. Lebih ke dianya yang kayak banyak pertanyaan. Kadar jealousnya tuh lebih besar dia gitu sih. Tuh. Dan aku lebih kayak yang kayak enggak kok kita cuma teman. Dia kan cuma gini gitu-gitu sih.
Kalau aku sih, we both are not really a jealous person, but then I know he's subconsciously a very possessive guy. Like he can be very possessive. Jadi kalau misalnya kayak aku misalnya main gitu ya sama kayak ada cowok lain atau gimana, he's not yang langsung nggak ngebolehin atau pakai. In fact dia malah kayak ya udah sana kayak kamu main aja yang penting ingat pulang ke aku gitu loh. That type of person gitu. Cuman caranya dia jealous, dia kayak menyembunyikan dengan bercandaan gitu loh. Jadi kayak lebih ke ih lagi sama siapa gitu-gitu loh. Dan kayak start doing talk, dan kayak nanya-nanya tapi nadanya tuh nada-nada bercanda gitu loh supaya nggak ketahuan gitu kalau lagi jealous gitu.
Mine juga kayak gitu. Tapi like the way you guys are reacting towards it, I feel so immature in comparison. Karena aku sih yang kayak petty gitu, misalnya ada kayak cewek apa, I'm like, oh yeah, was that your ex too? Talking to her too or something like that. Tapi ya kayak fortunately for my jealousy kayak dia nggak ada kayak too many girlfriends gitu. Jadi not that many reasons to be jealous because otherwise I would just be horrible.
Iya sih. Terus aku juga kalau I can be a very jealous girl, cuman aku sering banget kayak nahan diri and then bertanya-tanya dulu gitu loh, is it just me, kayak akunya aja yang berover imajinatif atau emang mereka mengexhibit tingkah laku yang memang kayak nggak seharusnya gitu loh. Saya kadang-kadang semuanya tuh ada di kepala aku doang gitu, jadi aku lebih ke arah mencoba untuk stop it, the train of thoughts before it gets worse gitu sih.
Iya, I think kayak semua orang punya jealousy, cuma how to show it-nya gitu. Karena kalau aku mungkin ada, cuma cara aku menunjukkan jealous, bukan aku menunjukkan sih, maksudnya kayak biasanya aku kayak background check dulu nih cewek siapa, Tapi aku stalk gitu loh. Tapi aku nggak kayak ngomong ini cewek siapa gitu. Aku kayak diam-diam nge-stalk nih cewek siapa, terus hubungannya
Iya.
apa dengan ini gitu loh. I mean kayak tiap orang bisa menunjukkannya dengan cara yang berbeda gitu sih, atau either menunjukkan atau enggak gitu.
Tapi aku penasaran sih, kan
Hmm.
aku nggak harus tinggal bareng sama cowok aku, dan kayak Angel juga kayak nggak pernah tinggal bareng, dan yang Tamara kan semenjak lockdown ini kalian kayak you guys see each other daily gitu kan. Terus kalau misalnya lagi let's say berantem gitu, what do you do? Yang tips-tips orang yang jangan sampai tidur masih berantem gitu, does that really work?
Yeah, I think we do have a rule gitu. Jadi whatever happens, don't let the other person go to bed angry. Karena it's a bit hard, we're on the same bed. And jadi kalau misalnya marah gitu, there's not much you could do. Because we're here, we're staying with his mom as well. Jadi kayak I think we have to keep up appearances occasionally. Jadi nggak bisa teriak-teriak atau apa gitu. Tapi usually we give each other time to cool off gitu. Jadi like one of us goes for a walk or something like that, and then we can like calmly talk about it. Tapi kadang-kadang ya masih lah keluar dikit kayak angernya gitu. But I think that being in the same place, it's definitely forced us to talk about it more, because it's not very easy to avoid it, because if you go for a walk, where are you going to go? It's locked down,
Yeah.
everywhere is closed. So you kind of have to talk about it. Otherwise, it's just like not talking with each other, and then it's very weird atmosphere in the
Tapi
house.
kalian tipe orang yang begitu ada masalah harus langsung diomongin, atau kayak you guys need space and time to just cool off, and then after that you talk gitu?
I think tergantung situationnya sih, because like if you're really really mad, I feel like we're both the type of people that you need to cool off a little bit and then think, rather than saying things that you don't mean, and like just trying to like, because like if you're like, if it's a really bad argument, then when you're talking you're just going to be angry, and it's going to create like a
Yeah.
lot more tension, as opposed to misalnya leave it for a little bit, you have time to cool off, jadi nggak, like you're not talking with anger.
True.
I think that's definitely, yeah. Kalau you guys how do you have an argument?
With the current relationship, we rarely fight. But I do learn a lot about fighting with my previous relationship. So my ex is working in Sydney and I was working in Jakarta at the time. It's not like we're fighting because of the distance, but oftentimes I was frustrated because we have different fighting style. I'm the type that when I feel something negative like anger or jealousy, I take a step back and ask myself, why do I feel that way? What makes me feel that way? Was it me and my issues make me react that way, or what? Whereas he was the type of guy who liked to talk about everything in the moment. For him, as he talks, he understands more. So there was a bit of a mismatch. I learned that it's really important to take the time when you're in a good mood to discuss how you guys fight. Like if one side needs space and time to kind of figure things out on their end, then let's give them that and a deadline. So after a certain amount of time, they have to go back and talk it out. And that's what I've been doing with my current partner, and it's been going well so far. Please mind the gap between Indonesia and the UK.
Kayaknya kita ngobrolnya jadi dua sisi ekstrim ya. Yang satu kayak harus ketemu setiap hari gara-gara lockdown, and then yang satu lagi kayak long distance.
Can you guys me, like we're both long distance right now? I mean, it's only been a year. Like how do you maintain that? I assume it's really hard not being able to see each other for a really long time.
Well, this is my first LDR. Karena kayak di 10 tahun itu kita nggak selalu bareng-bareng sih. Even kayak kalau kerja pun kita pulangnya bareng, berangkatnya bareng. Ya, it's hard. Udah 4 bulanan kan berarti udah LDR, dan itu susah banget sih. Apalagi kayak jet lag gitu, kayak lagu jet lag, tau gak sih? Yang kayak kalau aku mau tidur, dia baru bangun. Dia mau tidur, aku lagi kuliah misalnya kayak gitu. Communication is key, even via chat gitu kan. Karena aku bukan tipe orang yang suka telepon gitu kan sebenarnya. Suka ngobrol gitu. Jadi I prefer chat. Jadi kayak as long as I can chat him, ya kita chat gitu sih. Dan dia juga selalu menyediakan waktunya untuk kayak membantu aku ketika misalnya kayak kadang kayak kerjaan kuliah gitu tuh dia bantuin. I think it's simple thing yang bisa dilakukan ketika maintain long distance. How we support each other, terus communication, at least chat.
I see.
And how about you, Beth?
Gimana ya? Banyak sih yang bisa diomongin long distance. For me, I guess one thing, the first thing I could take from my experience is that when the relationship matters, distance doesn't. In a sense that when you find a meaningful relationship, you guys going into the same direction and you have the same end game, like you guys are each other end game, it definitely make it easier to deal with the time difference and all the little details that comes with long distance relationship. But if the relationship is just casual, like you're not even sure about that person, if you're not even sure if you want to be with that person at the end of the day, then yeah, it doesn't really make sense to be together when you're not even in the same postcode. Terus yang kedua, yang lebih susahnya adalah jadi nggak bisa spontan kan, nggak bisa kayak yang kita lagi ada berita apa atau lagi ada yang seru, and then tiba-tiba kayak nelpon atau misalnya tiba-tiba cerita sama dia. I don't think we can do that anymore, karena kalau misalnya ada sesuatu yang seru let's say jam 3 sore di sini, berarti di sana udah kayak jam berapa gitu kan. Terus misalnya jam 9 paginya sana, itu jam 2 paginya kita. So I think it's rather hard untuk being spontan, kayak menormalisasi, menjadwalkan call atau misalnya kayak date night. Itu penting sih kalau buat LDR. So like it's not that we're not fun and not spontan anymore, it's just we have to prioritize dan kayak scheduling to give each other time gitu loh.
Emangnya kalau you guys, how do you have a date over the phone or over long distance?
Gimana ya? Aku nggak merasa itu like a real date gitu sih. Cuman kayak ya udah kita video call aja dan there are two types of video calls I think. The time when we video call each other but then we're doing something else. Jadi kayak ya udah kalau lagi benar-benar kayak kangen gitu. Jadi cuman aku lagi sambil ngerjain kerjaan dan dia sambil ngerjain kerjaan. So like we're being there for each other. And the time when kita video call dan benar-benar kayak focusing on each other gitu and just talk dan not doing something else, atau misalnya kayak kita nonton film yang sama, atau misalnya kita lagi makan bareng-bareng lagi makan. Soalnya kadang-kadang juga kalau dia lagi kerjaan dan aku video call, aku ngerasa kayak ya ampun aku udah nge-video call tapi kayak dia nggak merhatiin sama sekali gitu kan.
Iya.
Kayak gitu. Jadi ya kalau buat aku sih gitu.
Ya, aku juga video call sih. At least kayak kita ada, pokoknya 1 minggu sekali weekend tuh pasti video call gitu. Kalau dia beda sih, kayak kalau Beth, sebenarnya kalau dia oke, kalau misalnya aku lagi sambil masak terus dia nontonin aku masak itu nggak apa-apa
gitu.
Dan aku tuh dan aku tipikal yang kayak nggak bisa kan, kayak kalau misalnya mau call ya udah call aja gitu loh. Gitu, tapi dia tipikal yang kayak gitu, dan at least seminggu sekali kita call. Terus kalau chat sih like every day sih, ngomongin apa aja macam-macam gitu. At least update kita lagi ada di mana gitu.
Kalau aku sih complete opposite kan. Jadi kan we live together kayak during lockdown, especially kan before lockdown kita misalnya ke restoran apalah gitu, tapi kan sekarang there's not that many things to do, so we're forced to go on like walking dates a lot. So jadi misalnya kayak jalan kemana, exploring new things and all that. Tapi kayak kadang-kadang kayak I want something different, you know. Jadi kayak we do something extra special. Jadi for Valentine's Day we made a fort and then had decorated the fort with like fairy lights gitu. Terus kayak play games and stuff like that. So I think just for me personally, I think the extra effort occasionally, especially if you're in lockdown, I think it really helps, and it just keeps a sense of normality in terms of the relationship. Karena kan kayak we see each other, like I said before, we see each other all the time, you know, and kayak it doesn't feel special because you're cooking with them and then you're just like doing all these like normal household things with them. So occasionally it does feel nice to do something a little bit extra special on some days as well.
yang kamu jalanin sekarang tuh lebih kayak married life gitu kan, you guys jadi terbiasa melakukan household chores bareng gitu kan. Relationship is not just all the flowery rainbow and kayak rainbow and sunshine, tapi ada juga yang kayak udah daily stuffnya.
And I think tapi I'm a bit sad sih kayak like I skipped all of the daisy flowery stuff, can jump straight to kayak being quite domestic. Tapi I hope with like all the lockdown restrictions eased, like you can go back to like dating like normal people instead of skipping right to the household things. Tapi I guess in the long run, it's good to see that we're both compatible in terms of like living together and stuff like that, you know. Because imagine if like a pet peeve of mine, I really can't stand people are like really dirty or really messy, but like thank God he's not.
Penting sih compatibility.
In the long run.
Does he still gives you butterflies? Oh my god, this is a very giggly episode.
Occasionally, tapi most of the time it's like I turn around like, oh my god, you're still here. Tapi moga-moga with like lockdown restrictions reduced, I can go back to the normal giggly feels. Tapi kadang-kadang masih sih, kayak misalnya like he just stares at me a bit too long, and I get all shy and I'm like, why are you looking at me? Jadi masih dikit lah kan, a very new relationship.
Gimana Angel yang udah 10 tahun?
Apakah masih spark joy or not gitu ya?
Kalau nggak spark joy, just get rid of it.
Gimana ya rasa butterfly itu, udah lupa. Jujur.
Oh my god.
I mean kayak butterfly itu biasanya di awal-awal gitu kan. Jadi lupa gitu sih rasanya, karena kayak udah 10 tahun kayak ya udah kita udah biasa aja kayak misalnya kayak ketemu gitu kan. Ya mungkin sometimes ketika dia do something yang romantic gitu sih, ya mungkin kayak oh, kayak gitu kali ya. Lebih kayak gitu, misalnya kayak tiba-tiba Valentine's dikirimin bunga gitu kan. Padahal dia di Indo gitu kan. Dia kirimin bunga ke sini. Terus, atau kayak simple as, kayak dikasih makanan gitu kan. Untuk menemani kuliah gitu-gitu. Sometimes kayak aku ngerasanya bukan butterfly lagi, saya lebih kepada, oh my god, lo kok masih berjuang untuk ngasih kayak gini sih gitu-gitu. Padahal kita kan jauh gitu kan. Lu kok bisa tahu sih kayak gimana caranya gini-gini gitu kan. Lebih ke kayak gitu sih, lebih ke appreciate the effort and feel lucky gitu sih, kayak lu perhatian banget gitu-gitu sih.
Ada perasaan kayak gitu tuh kalau dia lagi effort ke keluarga aku sih. So I know that he's zero effort to the girls around him kan. Karena I know that he's surrounded by a lot of girls and it's very easy for him to just like get girls gitu loh. Jadi kalau misalnya dia lagi ngeluarin effort buat aku yang aku tahu he's not doing it for other girls. Let's say kayak dia pulang ke rumahku waktu itu dan kayak masakin keluarga aku. Terus juga waktu aku udah di sini, dia pulang tanpa aku gitu loh. Terus kayak masak-masak dan kayak makan bareng keluarga aku, and that's kayak kinda make me giggly inside gitu. Pokoknya dia kalau lagi melakukan sesuatu yang tidak dia lakukan ke cewek-cewek lain gitu lah. Effort yang ini kayak big gesture yang kayak gitu.
So how do your parents feel about him?
I managed to bring him home waktu Lebaran. Jadi sebelum itu kan mama aku pernah ketemu dia di kantor, pernah makan malam bareng, tapi terus dia officially ikut aku pulang ke rumah itu ya Lebaran kemarin sih. He gets along so well with my family, bahkan dengan papa aku. Buat aku dia bisa get along dengan my family, pretty big. Soalnya my family is weird. So yeah, let's just stop at that. Kayak my family is weird and his weirdness matching my family's.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
It's good.
How about you, Tamara?
Okay, so with my situation, it's a bit different because aku kan orang Kristen dari Indo, tapi like keturunan Chinese, and my boyfriend is Malaysian keturunan India, and he's born Hindu, tapi he's agnostic. And my parents are kind of like the typical Chinese, like they want me to marry a Chinese Indonesian Christian boy, and so I came back with the complete opposite. And then kayak mereka juga kayak lumayan conservative lah, so like it took them a while to process the fact that I'm getting serious with another guy who's not really the convention, like what they expect me to be with. And then also when I said that I was staying with him and his family in London as well, they were a bit like, oh my god, okay, this is getting a bit crazy. And then but it took them like, they're okay with him now, they really do like him now, but it took them like a lot, it was a lot to take in, and it took them a bit of time to just finally accept the fact that I'm with him and then it's serious and everything. But like, because it's been like almost a year and he's spoken with them, like, and then talked to them over a video call and stuff. And our parents, like, our respective parents have met as well. And so I think that was yeah. And kan I'm only 20 and like this is like I don't introduce my boyfriends to my parents kalau misalnya nggak serious, you know, because then like why bother? And so this is like a huge step for me recently, and I think that it's definitely been a learning curve lah for my family.
Is there any like tips for the listener? Kayak mungkin pacaran dengan yang tidak sesuai dengan ekspektasi keluarga?
Aku sih kayak I promoted all the nice things about him first. Jadi kayak, oh yeah, he's a PhD student, he's doing this, and then oh yeah, also he's Malaysian. Tapi kayak like I stressed on the fact that dia sih kayak a good person gitu loh, and like he really does care about me. And then like I stressed on all the good qualities that he has, baru his race and religion. And I think that it's helped a lot knowing that he's a good person who's not gonna do me wrong, you know. Tapi kayak like my grandma also is accepting just of his character, which I think helps a lot as well. So just like if you're trying to the listeners, if you're trying to get your parents to accept your partners, just highlight all the nice things first, and then at the end, then you can explain all the bad things. But I think that definitely you should introduce it to them slowly. Karena I think that all parents, they will understand eventually. You just don't like shock them by saying everything at once. You know, slowly introduce. Oh, there is this guy. I might like this guy, and then oh yeah, we're starting to get to know each other more, and then relationship stuff.
Before we have like any official relationship, I told my mom that I met this new guy and that we are good friends right now. And then he's like very, very tenacious and very ambitious and has his own business and stuff. So like it's all the good highlights. Bahkan pada saat aku bawa dia pulang pun aku tidak bilang kalau ini judulnya adalah pacar, karena pada saat itu memang kita tidak ada arah untuk ke sana gitu loh. Kayak yang pulang tuh ya statusnya masih teman dekat gitu. So my family gets to know him before all the labels, dan dia juga bisa berinteraksi tanpa ekspektasi dari label itu gitu. And then once they get along and once they like each other, baru kayak ya actually
oh, that's really good.
Please mind the gap between Indonesia and the UK.
Yeah, I think we're approaching the last minutes of our episode, so we're going to do rapid fire.
So these are like a series of questions where we have to like answer as fast as possible in as few words as possible.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do this for all three of us.
Okay. What do you think is the most important thing in a relationship?
I guess for me it has to be boundaries. In terms of, I know that once you're a couple, it's like you're a team, but I feel like it's also important for you to be aware that you're an individual and he's an individual, and it's okay for you guys to have something other than the relationship. Like if he wants to spend time with the boys, it's okay, and if I want to spend time with myself or like my friends, he won't mind. I think establishing that you're still you and he's still him, although you are together now, it's really important.
Okay, for me it's communication. Simple, one word.
And then aku jawab pertanyaan sendiri ya berarti. Iya. Kalau mine supportive sih. Mungkin mirip sama Beth ya. Jadi kayak misalnya aku punya keinginan ini, you have to support me. Jadi jangan malah kayak kayaknya itu nggak cocok deh buat kamu gitu. Aku pengen nggak suka gitu. Jadi kayak I want to be a wanita karir misalnya. You have to support me gitu. Jadi harus supportive each other.
Tapi what if the decision that you're making he doesn't think that it's good for you?
We can discuss. Tapi the decision itu ada di aku. Karena itu adalah masa depanku kayak gitu.
Okay. Next question. What's one thing you wish you could change about your partner?
I think I would like him to be
Oh.
more romantic. Karena kayak dia tunjukin kayak his love gitu in very like by his actions. So doing things like when I'm not feeling so good, doing things so I don't have to misalnya cuci piring lah, karena kan kayak we're staying together, so like I'm really stressed out, he'll just take that burden off of me gitu. Tapi like occasionally I do appreciate like flowers on Valentine's Day. I didn't get flowers on Valentine's Day. So like just little romantic things, you know, kan kayak I grew up watching romantic
Yeah.
movies, so I have expectations, a lot of expectations.
Kieran, if you're listening to this, take notes.
Iya. Atau kamu harus kode-kode, Tamara.
I know kayak guys gitu kayak very bad with taking hints. Jadi kadang-kadang aku kayak cuma ask directly, I want flowers on Valentine's Day.
Oh ya.
Pasti nggak didengerin.
Oke.
Parah cowok. What about you?
Oh my god, aku belum nemu lagi. I wish. Can you please be more peka?
Sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buat aku, I wish we do more of the things that I like. Karena kita berdua sadar sih that we don't really have that much in common other than the fact that we're workaholic. And I am a believer that it's more important for a relationship to be in purpose than in common. But still, it's nice every once in a while if he can like go do something that I like. For example, just watching movies that I like instead of me following whatever he likes.
Well, so that this is not just kind of like shitting on our partners. We should also think about like what's one thing that we could change about ourselves for our partner.
Aku pengen lebih pengertian sih. Karena aku lebih baik menuntut, tapi tidak mengerti apa yang dia mau, mungkin kayak gitu. Atau kayak lebih, karena aku baik menuntut, jadi aku kadang ya udah maunya aku sendiri gitu. Tapi aku tidak mengerti dia maunya gimana. Kadang tidak take into considerations perasaan dia gimana gitu-gitu. Jadi I want to be more understanding, not understandable.
Kalau aku pengennya be more expressive sih ke dia, in terms of expressing love, in terms of expressing anything sih, kayak emotion. Kalau misalnya aku lagi jealous, atau aku lagi marah, atau aku lagi kesel gitu, I wish I could be more expressive to him.
Okay. And for me, I think I'd like to be more decisive. Kind of like in terms of everything. I think kayak aku kayak masih agak not sure when like making decisions about anything, you know. And I think that kayak dia kan tipenya kayak kadang-kadang kayak, oh my god, just make a decision, you know. And I think that it does annoy him a little bit. So I think that if I could change something about myself, well, I am working on it. It would be decisiveness.
What do you miss about being single?
Rapid fire, first thing that comes to
I
mind.
don't know, I guess space, but then kayak kurang space apalagi 12.000 kilometer gitu kayak yang probably space kali ya. Space in my mind gitu loh. Soalnya I feel like when you're not single, you're sharing space in your mind with someone else gitu loh. Kayak yang kalau aku lagi jalan kemana ngelihat yang sesuatu yang bagus, and then aku inget dia. Terus kayak aku jalan kemana, aku makan enak, aku inget dia. Ngerti gak sih? Those kind of things loh. Terus kayak kalau it makes it harder jadinya. So sometimes I wish, not that I'm single, lebih kayak jadinya jatuhnya I wish I don't have to share my mind, the space of my mind with someone else gitu. Ngerti gak sih kalau kamu single kan ya udah, siapa yang keinget waktu kalau lagi makan enak? Gak ada ya kan, kayak ya udah enjoy aja gitu loh.
But that shows that you're in love.
Makanya jadi kayak agak dilema gitu loh. Yeah, sometimes I wish that I don't think of him every single time.
One thing I miss about being single, I think aside from, you know, because like we're in a very unique situation, but besides the fact that I'd like my own space, like personal space, I think that I'm kind of like low-key miss, like, you know, like when you first start talking to someone and getting to know someone, you get like butterflies and the excitement of like flirting with someone and then just like having fun out at like the club or something like that. Tapi kayak like once you're in a relationship, kayak it's become a bit more domesticated and you lose that initial relationship like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go out and like flirt with him or something like that. And I think that's one thing I miss, and also like personal space because
I think kayaknya mirip-mirip sama kalian juga sih kalau aku. Kayak the feeling of, aku udah 10 tahun ya, jadi kayak udah agak-agak lupa ya, udah agak-agak lama nih bikin. The feeling of dia mikirin gue gak ya gitu, kayak gitu. Karena aku tahu sekarang dia pasti mikirin gue gitu. Agak sombong sih. Tapi kayak the feeling of penasaran gitu-gitu loh. Karena aku sekarang jadinya nggak penasaran, bukan nggak penasaran kayak apa ya, mungkin kayak kasmaran gitu kali ya. Mungkin kayak kalau kita lagi ngedeketin orang tuh pasti kayak dia mikirin gue nggak ya, terus kayak dia suka sama gue nggak ya, misalnya kayak gitu-gitu. Itu tuh udah nggak ada lagi kan kalau kita in a relationship.
Okay, last question. What's the one thing that makes you miss your partner?
I think I'd miss like what you said, Beth, like in for the previous question, misalnya kayak you do little things or see little things that remind you of him and you're just like, oh, I really wish he was here right now. Tapi I think cuddling is a pretty big one.
Aku mungkin the company kali ya. Jadi kayak karena aku dulu selalu bersama, makan bareng, pulang kerja bareng dan sebagainya, itu hal yang aku kangenin sih. Kayak sekarang kalau aku pergi aku sendiri gitu kan, commuting sendiri, padahal dulu selalu bareng.
Kalau aku anaknya gampang banget dingin ya, kaki sama tangannya, jadi kayak aku ngerasa anget tapi kaki sama tangan aku tau-tau kayak sedingin es gitu. Dan itu it happens in Indo juga. Jadi kalau lagi kayak gitu dia suka yang terus megangin tangan, kalau nggak kayak gosok-gosok kaki. Dan sekarang setelah pindah ke sini, apalagi setelah going through winter, setiap hari begitu kan. Jadi kayak yang setiap hari aku ngerasa kayak I wish he was here. Kalau dia di sini pasti kayak udah masih langsung kayak dibuntelin gitu. Ya langsung ditanya ini sakit atau gimana gitu. Jadi, ya susahnya justru karena setiap hari dingin jadinya inget dia terus gitu sih.
Well, I think this is the end of our podcast, our episodes today. It's really fun, guys. Kita bisa cerita-cerita tentang our relationship stories. Dan I think episode ini paling banyak ketawanya ya. Kayaknya banyak nih harus diedit. Saya ketawa-tawa. Yeah, basically thank you for our listeners for listening to our relationship stories.
And hopefully you could take something useful out of this. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye!
Please mind the gap between Indonesia and the UK.